Welcome back, my dear listeners. Hope you are doing fantastic today. Today's story is My Favorite Streamer Has Started Playing Some Seriously Disturbing Games by Sam Writing, aka IsKanderKhan2. I have linked down in the description an Amazon link for some of his work. Please do check it out. He's a fantastic author, does a great job on these stories, and I really want to support his art. So again, down in the description, there's a link. That's an Amazon link for Sam Writing's, his writing. If you enjoy it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and be sure to subscribe for more content like this. But, pushing that out of the way, again, this is My Favorite Streamer Has Started Playing Some Seriously Disturbing Games by Sam Writing. Enjoy. Last week, my Xbox finally died. It couldn't have happened at a worse time. Right in the middle of a paycheck limbo, where I'd have to wait a few weeks to afford repairs or a new console. So, I turned to streaming sites to get my gaming fix. At first, I mostly watched streamers play my favorites, mainly first-person shooters and the odd role-playing game. But upon finding a smaller, less user-friendly streamer who played things I'd never heard of before, my curiosity piqued. The guy went by the username Creation Destruction, and unlike other streamers, he seemed to have zero interest in building or maintaining a following. Rarely did his viewing numbers exceed a dozen at a time. If users weren't put off by his obnoxious demeanor, they were certainly put off by the disturbing content. Like I said, Creation Destruction played stuff I've never seen or heard of. Some really messed up stuff, too. One evening I was watching him play some heavily modded version of Half-Life 2, where he was tooling up with various automatic weapons in preparation for what I assumed was some kind of last stand mode. A handful of other users were watching and commenting, speculating on just what he needed so much firepower for. Then, we watched as Creation Destruction made his way down a quiet, suburban street toward a public playground. Among the swings and jungle gyms, there must have been 30 to 40 happy children. The character design and AI were magnificently impressive. Each of these little sprites was uniquely dressed, and their actions seemed to be completely spontaneous. Just as I was admiring the work that had gone into such a mod, Creation Destruction opened fire. He hosed down the playground with hundreds of bullets, tiny bodies falling to the dirt as blood, brains, and bone fragments splattered the colorful climbing frames. In the bottom corner of the screen, in the dimly lit room he occupied with a black hoodie covering up most of his features, Creation Destruction smiled. The comment section erupted, users calling him sick, an incel, or future school shooter. Others just left the room entirely. Eventually, all that were left were me and him. "Where do you find these games?" I asked with genuine curiosity. He typed his reply, "I make them." I was stunned, beginning to type out some long-winded reply about how someone so talented should really focus on something a little less obscene. Before pressing send, I went back to edit what I had written to come across a little more diplomatic than the others had. But when I looked at the bottom corner of my laptop screen, Creation Destruction was staring right into his webcam, like he could read what I was typing, like he was looking at me. A shiver went through me. I just closed my page and tried to clear my head. Creation Destruction was offline for a few days after that. I was kind of disappointed, I'll be honest. The kid was weird, sure, but he had talent. One evening, I went online to see that he was streaming again. My curiosity got the better of me, and I clicked. I began to watch as Creation Destruction played what was evidently some kind of stealth game. He was sneaking into a backyard, crouched, and stalking as he tried to find a way into the house. A house that seemed strangely familiar to me. I figured I'd just seen it in another video, but as he slid open the patio door and crept into a warmly lit kitchen, I realized what I was seeing. A woman had her back to this character, humming away to herself as she chopped vegetables on a sideboard. The moment I lay eyes on her, I knew who she was. It was my mom. He was in my parents' kitchen. I was dumbstruck, paralyzed by the flood of questions that burst into my mind. The digitally perfect replication of my mom turned. When she saw Creation Destruction's character, She let out a blood-curdling scream. His character smacked her over the head with something blunt, knocking her unconscious, before he began to collect a variety of kitchen utensils. Then, to my absolute horror and disgust, he began to lift up the lifeless woman's dress. My shaking hands began to type, but stopped when I saw something moving on his webcam display. Creation Destruction's face was pushed up against the camera, a sickening yellow smile full of broken teeth stretched wide across his face. He looked much older than I thought, black bags under his bloodshot eyes, dried blood around his snout-like nostrils. I shut my laptop and grabbed my phone, bringing up my parents' home phone number and waiting frantically as it dialed. With every ring, the anxiety in me grew until I was nauseous with desperation. But when someone finally answered, and I heard the voice on the other end, I knew it wasn't my mom or dad. Who is this? Why don't you tell me who you are, and we can put my fucking mom on the phone right now? I growled, apoplectic with fear. There was a pause, then a sigh. Son, this is Deputy Parkhill of the Suffolk County Police Department. I felt the blood drain from my cheeks. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but there's been a break-in. So there you go, my dear listeners. I hope that you enjoyed that story. It was definitely one of the darker stories I've ever read on this channel, to be honest with you. So this story, again, is by someone named Sam Writing, and down in the description there will be a link to an Amazon page where you can check out and purchase Fever Dreams, a horror anthology. This is a paperback written by Sam Writing, and it is a collection of horror stories. It's got a couple ratings, and both of them are 5 stars. Both of them remark how fantastic of a book this is, and I could definitely see it. So check that out. Let Sam know what you thought of his writing. Let Sam Writing know what you thought of his writing. That gets really difficult to say, I'm sorry. Thank you, Sam, for letting me use your story. I absolutely loved reading this one. You are a fantastic author, and I have a few more from you I know that you said I could read, and I plan to do so. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down there to let me know that you really liked this and that you want to see more. Also, be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing and what you thought of the story. Also, down in the description, again, you'll find that link for Sam Writing's book, as well as links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit subreddit. And you will also find a link to a page where you can submit your own story to me for my channel. I would love to read anything you send my way. Yeah, don't really have much more to say other than that. Thank you again, Sam, and thank you to everyone who subs and listens. I love you all. Have a great day. Stay safe out there, and sleep well.